The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
You learned that it was a contact wound with the clothing that Trayvon Martin had on?
Yes, sir.
So that would be consistent with Trayvon Martin leaning over when he got shot?
Yes, sir.
As testimony in the Zimmerman trial winds up, dummies are not in play. And we're not talking about the media. We'll have the latest from the trial, even as Florida prepares for possible rioting.
You guys are a bunch of scumbags.
Have you ever seen? We're just trying to get to the truth, and bigotry is not evidence.
The Boston Marathon terrorist makes his first appearance in court. He's facing execution if found guilty. We'll tell you what's happening up there. Now for the top story tonight. The Zimmerman Martin murder trial in Florida may soon go to the jury, and the Boston Marathon terrorist makes his first appearance in court. Join us from Boston, defense attorney Rachel Self, and from Boynton Beach, Florida, defense attorney Michelle Suskauer. Headline in the Zimmerman trial today is that George Zimmerman will not testify on his own behalf, correct? Ms. Suskauer?
That's right. That's right. Silence is golden, I think, is really the one of the headlines here, and it's not a surprise. It really is the right move. If he were my client, I absolutely would not put him on. He basically has testified anyway through video and audio, and he has absolutely nothing to gain by getting on the stand. There's too much reason to
if I'm on the jury, though, I want to hear what happened that night. And this guy is one of the two people who were there. And so you say he has nothing to gain. He can say, look, this is what happened. This is why I did what I did. This is what I did. So I'm not so sure that wouldn't be worthy.
Well, but he opens himself up to cross-examination.
Yeah, I know, but if he's telling the truth, the cross-examination is going to do what?
Well, it could, he is not a professional witness as opposed to law enforcement officers or medical examiners who are.
Yeah, but come on, counsel. Look, I'm cutting through this as I cut through everything, as you know. You're looking at it from a legal point of view, and you're absolutely correct. If I'm the defense attorney, I say to Zimmerman, you're not going anywhere near that stand, okay? You're just not going on.
Right.
All right? Because there's too many things that could happen, and we think we have your acquittal in our pocket. But from a truth point of view, if you're sitting on the jury, you want this guy to tell you what happened.
There's no question. These jurors are dying to hear, and everyone else wants him to testify. But the judge is going to instruct these jurors, hey, guess what? He has a right to remain silent. It's in the Constitution, and you cannot use his silence against him. We all know that, but the perception is that he has something to hide if he's not up there. Now, I want to play perhaps the most controversial thing that happened in this entire court proceeding. Roll the tape.
And have you made a decision, sir, as to whether or not you want to testify in this case?
I object to that question.
Okay, overruled. Have you made a decision as to whether or not you want to testify in the case?
I object to that question. I think that's Mr.
Overruled. The court is entitled to inquire of Mr. Zimmerman's determination as to whether or not he wants to testify. Mr. Zimmerman, have you made a decision as to whether or not you want to testify in this case?
No, not at this time.
I think the judge did that to show the jury that she'd like to hear what Zimmerman had to say, too. I think that's why she did it.
Well, but you know what? It was outside of the presence of the jury. The jury didn't see those fireworks. And there were fireworks between the two of them last night as well.
So
why did
the judge do that? And thank you for correcting me on that. I thought the jury heard that. Why did the judge do that? Why was she so anxious to know whether Zimmerman was going to testify when that would have exposed itself in due time anyway?
Well, you know what? It's interesting because normally, in terms of my experience, the judge will wait until the end of the defense case, and maybe she's exhausted. Maybe she's trying to do, logistically.
Right, so you don't really know why she did
here.
it, because I thought it was a little strange. Okay, let's go to Boston.
It was.
Rachel, you have this guy coming in now, and we don't have pictures of him. No cameras in a courtroom in Boston. But from the Associated Press report, he's blasé looking, using the AP's work. He's waving, blowing kisses, and there's actually a dozen supporters of his, and we saw one of them in a cold open. They think he's a great guy. So this is going to be a circus trial. Well, this guy's going to play to the cameras, right? He pled not guilty. Everybody knows he's guilty.
Well, but everybody doesn't know that he's guilty because under our system of justice, you're not guilty until the government proves you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt,
Do you know one human being on this earth, Rachel, that doesn't think he's guilty? One? Because I'd like their name, and I'll put them on a program tomorrow. Give me one name.
Well, no. He's only accused at this point, though.
Okay,
That's
this is
how our
another
system works.
legalism.
That's
This is what I
makes
was
this
talking to
happen
Michelle about.
That's what makes
These are
USA
legalisms.
so great.
Let's cut through it. Everybody knows he's guilty. He's going to turn it into a clown posse show trial.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't say, oh, no, it's a load of baloney and with a capital case where the death penalty's on the table.
The trial is...
He's going to take a deal.
Okay.
He's going to take a deal, is what's going to happen.
He'll plead guilty and they won't execute him. The trial is not a bunch of crap, okay? I understand the worthiness of the trial.
Yeah.
But for anybody to pretend that he isn't guilty, his attorneys, the idiots outside supporting him, anybody to pretend, I'm just not going to brook it. He did it. We saw it. Ladies, thanks very much. Next on the